The following companies are proud to support the Connecticut VOICE Honors. The Connecticut VOICE Honors special is brought to you by Canal Crossing at Whitneyville West in Hamden, Connecticut, where convenient suburban living meets the great outdoors. We offer professionally managed apartment homes in an amenity-rich community. Live the best at Whitneyville West. Southern Connecticut State University, committed to diversity, inclusion, and transforming lives through the power of education. YWCA New Britain is a proud sponsor of Connecticut VOICE Honors. At YWCA, we are dedicated to confronting social justice issues, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, and equity for all people. The Connecticut VOICE Honors television special is brought to you by the Leonard Litz Foundation, committed to helping LGBTQ+ people everywhere live to their fullest potential. Welcome to the Connecticut VOICE Honors. Tonight, we celebrate those trailblazing individuals and organizations who continue to pave the way for more people to be able to shine while living full, authentic lives in Connecticut. Join us as we honor these visionary leaders.
I think, first of all, Connecticut is one of the leading nations and leading states in the country that really recognizes diversity and inclusion and has been really in the vanguard of making sure that the rights of the LGBTQ plus community are safeguarded.
I think it's an important night for Connecticut because Connecticut VOICE is coming of age. It has become a force in the state as a voice for not only a community, but really for values and for inclusion, equality. And at this point in our history, let's be very blunt, that voice and those values are more important than ever because we are threatened as a nation. Our democracy is threatened and our fundamental freedoms are at risk.
He just is so supportive of the whole LGBTQ plus community. He works so hard to make everybody feel included and supports them, and that's just, I mean, that's his vibe, that's his goal, that's his dream, that's what he does.
I'm just amazed. I just think it's time. It's just time. It's not time just to recognize, but it's time to award people for the contributions that they make, right? Always. It's always time for that.
Everybody looks so beautiful and pretty, and I'm glad I get to wear my dress. And it's exciting, really. But I hope I can share my story to the others here so that they'll want to know more about kids like me.
Any opportunity to celebrate a community that doesn't get its full due is a special and important opportunity. But for us, being musical storytellers tonight, we have an opportunity to highlight voices from the LGBTQ plus community that give us all a reason to shout and smile.
It means a defining moment in our journey for Proud Academy and the youth of the LGBTQ community.
So tonight we're going to tell 12 remarkable stories of people that are doing such incredible work in and around the LGBTQ plus community. But tonight, really, if you skinny it down, it's about telling stories. And we're so proud to have the opportunity to do that. We're great.
And an event like this, to me, it means equality. It means a celebration, just acknowledging everyone of all the hard work that everyone has contributed to the LGBTQ plus community.
Good evening. My name is Kyone Wolf. I'm from Connecticut Public Broadcasting. Can I hear you? I mean, if you know Connecticut Public? All right.
And I'm Kyone's co-host tonight, Dennis House from Channel 8.
Hey!
You all look great. A lot of familiar faces. And we've had some great conversation, and the night is just beginning.
It's true. So, as you know, this evening has been designed to pay tribute to the individuals, organizations, and companies whose commitment to inclusion, diversity, and advocacy for our LGBTQIA+ communities has established Connecticut as a leader in the United States and one of the most positive and affirming places to live and work for the amazing and diverse people who identify as LGBTQIA+.
Absolutely. Kyone, it's certainly an honor to be here to co-host this spectacular evening with you. The individuals and organizations that we are celebrating tonight include awards in the areas of arts and entertainment, advocacy, unsung hero, commitment to youth initiatives award, small business pride in education, health equity, corporate commitment, political leadership, people's choice, profiles in courage, and lifetime achievement.
Please welcome Richard Blumenthal.
Senator. Glad you made it.
Thank you. I am so honored to be here tonight and to thank Kian and Dennis for their service. Thank you so much for your leadership, for your incredible courage and strength. Connecticut Voice, thank you for being a voice, a champion, a steadfast leader. And to Jim Tully and Christopher Byrne, my gratitude. And on behalf of all Connecticut, my gratitude. But most of all, to my wonderful colleague and friend whose courage and leadership I've tried to emulate in the Congress. Rosa DeLauro has been such a champion of equality, of non-discrimination, of inclusion, such a steadfast advocate in not only her legislation, and you know, she's been the advocate for the Lilly Ledbetter Law, for the Equality Act, for so much great legislation, and she is the chairman of the Appropriations Committee in this Congress, so she is the dean of our delegation. She is the leading champion for Connecticut. But in her integrity, in her sense of purpose, and her unstinting and unflinching champion of values that we hold dear, the LGBT community is well represented in Rosa DeLauro as a voice. And I am honored to be here tonight to be the voice of our delegation. I think I speak for all of our delegation tonight in congratulating her and in saying to her, you have been our role model, our mentor for us and so many others in the Congress over so many years, as well as for generations that will make the LGBTQ plus community a value that will be increasing in the years to come. So thank you, Rosa, for everything that you have done for Connecticut, everything you have done for this cause. I'm proud to be with you tonight and proud to be with all of you. Keep up the fight. We can't go back. We can't allow the forces of darkness to push us back into a time when this kind of advocacy was ineffectual. We need to continue the fight and moving forward. Thank you all for being there, for all of Connecticut, for all of this community, for all of our nation. Thank you very much. And now, Rosa.
Thank you so much. A wonderful crowd here tonight. I'm so honored to be with all of you and to join you at this inaugural Connecticut VOICE Honors Gala. And I really do such heartfelt thanks to my partner in the United States Senate, Senator Richard Blumenthal, for his very, very kind words and for presenting me with this honor tonight. You know, the senator has been a tireless champion in the fight for justice and for equality for all Americans, an outstanding partner in our efforts to finally pass the Equality Act, which in his words, and I quote, is about respect. It is about letting people love who they love and be who they are. It is about affirming the words carved above the Supreme Court, equal justice under law. And I could not agree with him more. Long supported, years in co-sponsoring the Respect for Marriage Act, which would enshrine federal protections for same-sex and interracial marriages and repeal the Defense of Marriage Act. So it's, again, a thank you, Richard. It's a pleasure to receive this award from you, a colleague, but more importantly, a friend. I want to say a thank you to Christopher Byrne, editor of Connecticut VOICE, the premier magazine dedicated to the LGBTQ plus community, for making this evening possible. And I have to acknowledge our hosts for the evening, Kyone Wolf from Connecticut Public Radio and Dennis House broadcast journalist, anchor at WTNH, of course, to all of the advocates gathered here tonight. You've helped establish Connecticut as a leader in the United States as one of the most positive and affirming places to live and to work for those who identify as LGBTQ, plus. A privilege to receive the first annual Connecticut VOICE Honors, the Political Leadership Award. It's a special honor for me because the award recognizes our shared commitment to inclusion, to diversity, and support for Connecticut's LGBTQ plus communities.
Spend a night with an icon. Nancy Wilson's Heart. Saturday, June 17th at 8 p.m. Great Cedar Showroom at Foxwoods Resort Casino. A special evening of Heart classics. Tickets on sale now at foxwoods.com and ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Nancy Wilson's Heart. Great Cedar Showroom at Foxwoods Resort Casino.
There are many gay or lesbian or transgender children who are turned away from their home, turned away from their family. How do you get through this? You're the only gay person in the world and also within 100 miles. We persevered and we built a life. We built a life together. LGBTQ kids have no role models for that. If we can help them in any way, our story hopefully will be an inspiration to them.
At California Closets, our designers see room for opportunity and corners of possibility everywhere. We believe every space deserves a custom-designed solution, so you can relax with your favorite book or your entire collection. Together, we'll discover hidden potential in unexpected places. Exceptional design and quality, installed by our own skilled professionals. That's practical magic. Discover the possibilities in your home with a free design consultation.
Buying a home is exciting, but it's a major investment and can be overwhelming. It's critical to get your financing prepared before you buy, so I can connect you to one of my many trusted lenders to help you with your loan. My local market knowledge will save you a lot of time by matching homes that meet your specific criteria. Once we find the right home, I'll put my negotiating skills to work so we can get it at the right price. Contact me when you're ready and let's go find your dream home.
Scott Haney here in another amazing basement from Better Built Basements. What an incredible job they did here. Just beautiful. They'll take your home improvement project to a whole new level. These guys are professional, punctual, and they really do a great job. They've been transforming basements for years all over the state and have hundreds of satisfied customers. They'll turn your vision into a reality and make your basement a beautiful and functional space. Give my friends at Better Built Basements a call today and let them take your basement from unfinished to unbelievable.
YWCA New Britain is a proud sponsor of Connecticut VOICE Honors. At YWCA, we are dedicated to confronting social justice issues, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, and equity for all people. Join us as we recognize and celebrate our friends, family, members, and colleagues during Pride Month. To learn more about YWCA and our many programs and services, call 860-225-4681.
So I grew up in Gilroy, California, and theater entered my life when I was about 8 years old. I actually saw my mother perform in a show that was being produced by a seminal theater company called the Farm Worker Theater, El Teatro Campesino. I remember just being completely moved by the whole spectacle, and also seeing my mother perform was very special, very meaningful. So I think I hit the theater, I got the theater bug very early in life. And then it wasn't really until I went to graduate school, though. In 2005, I went to the Yale School of Drama, that I knew I wanted to really make a life in the theater and become a theater producer. So when I graduated in 2008, I went to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, then went to Steppenwolf and to the Public Theater. The Public Theater is all about using stories as a way to help us understand the world. So I think in some ways it's kind of always been with me, and it's certainly the values that I'm trying to bring here to Longworth Theater. The theater is a place to reveal in our collective humanity. I think the theater is a place for us to learn and to grow and to celebrate difference. You know, the theater is also a place where we can come and heal and find joy and find connection. And, you know, theater is a balm, I think, in so many ways, especially right now, given the state of the world. My heroes change all the time, but I would say, I think first and foremost, it would be Luis Valdez, who is my theater godfather, who started El Teatro Campesino. Diane Rodriguez is a big hero. My grandmother is a hero of mine. My family, certainly. But, you know, people who inspire me, there's so many people who inspire me every day, and I think in many ways those are my heroes as well. I am so excited and energized about the future of Longworth Theater, about what it means to be a theater company that really belongs to the people. And I think with our new path forward, with our transition, being in relationship to all communities across the region, I'm excited. I'm excited about the possibilities and the way that this opportunity allows us to reveal, again, in our collective humanity, but also to activate our collective imagination, right? That you have a theater company that can belong to everyone, and I think that's where we're heading.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to CT Voice for this extraordinary honor and for giving us a platform to affirm and celebrate our community tonight. I'd like to start by thanking everyone who makes our work possible at Longworth Theater, with a special shout out to the staff and to our managing director, Kit Ingwe. It's the constellation of humans moving us towards a shared mission and vision that really does propel us forward. At Longworth Theater, we are inspired by the idea that a theater company can belong to everyone. That a theater wrestles with the big questions and is in dialogue with its community. That a theater reflects the world on and off stage. And the theater is not something that is owned by any one group of people, but by everyone who believe in the transformative power of storytelling. We need spaces like this one tonight where we celebrate our differences, and it's because of those differences that we can stretch. Let our imaginations soar. That is the kind of theater company that we are building at Longworth. When we work in community, all things are possible. One of the things that I say to my students at Yale is great art comes from great relationships. I want to close by quoting one of my favorite authors. Her name is Adrienne Marie Brown. And Adrienne says this: "Let the strength of our movement be measured by the strength of our relationships." So thank you so much for this incredible honor. Let's keep building, my friends, in community. And thank you so, so much.
My inspiration came from my own experience and how people in my life surrounded me and lifted me up in my hardest times. And I found that community was a lifesaver. And so I continue to see the need for people to find their community, to really help support them and make them feel seen and make them feel loved. So I love bringing people together. It's a huge passion of mine. It's incredibly important to continue community building and sticking together and finding your people who uplift you and inspire you and make you feel what you're worth. And I think with everything happening politically and the daily news, it can be scary and it feels hard, and I think together we can get through it and we're a powerful force. So the CTGLC Foundation, Connecticut Gay and Lesbian Chamber Foundation, formerly known as CABO, is a foundation dedicated to celebrating, empowering the youth of Connecticut, the LGBTQ and allied youth who are making a difference and are catalysts of change in our community. So we want to really find those students that are doing things for our community, show them that we see them, we hear them, and that we want to celebrate them and have them continue that advocacy in the future. At this time, we're giving scholarships to students across the state who have shown these leadership skills and have done an incredible amount of things, not only for their school, not only for their district,
and their towns, but for the state and a lot of times nationally. First of all, I know how difficult it was to be part of the LGBTQ community in high school and trying to go through that process. And these students are not only going through that process, but supporting all their peers at the same time. I'm basically like a glorified camp counselor. I'm like, everybody come together, let's play games and get to know each other. Like, yeah, it's a lot of fun though.
I am absolutely honored to stand here before you to represent the Connecticut educators and students as they continue to be there for our most vulnerable. I must send love and incredible thanks, first and foremost, to my supportive family, who are all here tonight. My parents, my mom and dad, always teaching me to be true to myself, to advocate for what I believe in, and were very proud when I told them I was gay and wanted to put it up on a billboard to celebrate. I shut that down really quick, but I appreciate it. To my sisters, Mary and Jill, who have been my biggest supporters ever since I came out to them on AIM Instant Messenger. Thank you for always being there, and especially for dressing me on these occasions. I am the typical lesbian teacher. I have one dress for parent-teacher conferences. It's true. I'm beyond honored to be here tonight. I want to thank the CT Voice for hosting this event, for having this incredible magazine, to Jim Tully, to the board. This is such an incredible representation of our community. It's so honest and beautiful. And thank you for giving us all the voice that really matters. Thank you so much.
Middlesex is a leader in this community because we have two superpowers. The first is we have our patients. Our patients help us be better providers and a better organization every day. The other is our employees. We have many, many employees who volunteer to do this work, who educate themselves, and who make a commitment to making our organization better for the better of our community. Everyone who works in our organization is educated both on trans and LGBTQ issues so that we treat every patient that comes in adequately and competently. And we have also made sure that we have providers and services that address all of those needs across the health system. The first thing I do is ask them what they need. We offer lots of different medications and services and procedures, but really when it comes down to it, the patient and the person need to drive how we make those decisions and when we make those decisions. So I view my role as education, showing people what we have available, what our experience has been with those particular outcomes, and then letting people make the decision on their own. It's always concerning to me when there's a barrier to care for anybody, regardless of their health issue, and specifically for trans people. There's absolutely a war going on where some places are trying to inappropriately and unnecessarily add barriers to life-saving and truly medically necessary health care. All that we can do to support our providers who are doing the care in other states and support the providers who are doing care here, while also watching and just making sure that we in Connecticut are always remaining gender affirming. My wife and I are so blessed to be in a state and in a community that treats us just the same as everyone else. We are always watching our rights very carefully, and of course in the current political climate are worried about how things are going across the country. But we're out and we're proud and we're happy to be part of the community. I hope that it keeps me humble. I hope that it gives me a perspective that not everybody has, being part of a community that's not always treated the same way as everyone else, and having been part of this fight my entire life. The first thing I say is we're all human at baseline, right? We love our family, we love our people, and if you can love them as one gender, you can certainly love them as another gender. And really the most powerful thing you can do for somebody is to affirm their own identity, because their own identity isn't based on us, isn't based on something we control. So meeting people where they are and loving them for who they are is incredibly powerful and can change the world.
On behalf of Middlesex Health, I'm very honored to accept this award for health equity. Thank you. As Renee said, I'm the medical director for the Middlesex Health Center for Gender Medicine and Wellness. And Really, that's just a fancy way of saying I get to work with really phenomenal people doing really phenomenal work. I work in a health system that has actively and very giddily embraced being healthcare advocates for a very specific group of people who identify as trans or gender nonconforming or gender non-binary. And I have not once had to convince somebody to do the work. Everyone has raised their hand to say, I want to help do this work. And I'm very excited today to be here with some of my colleagues who do this throughout our health system. Healthcare is undergoing a pretty major transformation right now, for better or for worse. And I'm hoping, at least in Connecticut, that we take the opportunity to really move forward. I once heard Rachel Maddow give a graduation speech in which she talked about not only going for the award, but doing the work that it takes to get to that award. And I really hope that at Middlesex, what we're doing is filling in those gaps and making the changes that makes it so that we are worthy of an award like this. Let us be your partner in making you the healthiest you that you can be. And finally, thank you so much again for this award.
YWCA New Britain is a proud sponsor of Connecticut VOICE Honors. At YWCA, we are dedicated to confronting social justice issues, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, and equity for all people. Join us as we recognize and celebrate our friends, family, members, and colleagues during Pride Month. To learn more about YWCA and our many programs and services, call 860-225-4681.
At California Closets, we see room for opportunity around every corner. Together, we'll discover hidden potential in unexpected places. Professional design and installation. That's practical magic. Request a free design consultation.
I got the idea from seeing what they had done in neighboring towns, and I wanted the same thing in Avon. They had rainbow crosswalks and like pride displays on the streets, and I figured we could do a similar thing in Avon and actually have community members come out and help paint it. I wanted it to be at the public library, where a lot of middle school kids come after school just to hang out. I proposed the idea for the rainbow crosswalk off of the street and really wanted it to be a project that community members could come out and help with, and something we could even do year-round, where every year in June for Pride Month, people could come out and help repaint it. Since the library is town property, I had to attend a town council meeting and ask for their approval. When I went before the town council, they voted it down 3-2. Saying that it was against the town charter to have anything on public property. Before I went before the town council, I thought it would be an easy yes because I had seen it in other towns, some very similar to ours, and I didn't see why it would be such a big deal to turn down. And when it was turned down, I felt a little discouraged because they had all kind of applauded me for my efforts and for speaking up and coming to the meeting. After the idea was turned down, if it wasn't for town council member Dan Paul-Hamus, he emailed me and asked me if I wanted to design an Avon Cares lawn sign that we could sell, and then all proceeds would go to these equity clubs at my school. So the lawn signs were a better idea because they were on private property and could be purchased for like year-long. I designed the Avon Cares lawn sign, and we began selling them online, and it really took off, and a bunch of people had them in their lawns. I got emails from a bunch of other towns, Farmington, Canton, Simsbury, all asking for similar things. So the lawn sign sales, all proceeds went to these groups at my school, the GSA and Avon Voices for Equity, and we host equity events and conversations pertaining to social justice. After 2 years of sales, I believe we've raised $6,500. It makes me proud that I can be involved in something bigger than myself and actually make a difference.
Thank you so much for this honor. This isn't something I did on my own, so I owe a lot of thanks to people who encouraged and advised me. When I approached the Avon Town Council to ask if I could paint a rainbow sidewalk by our local library as a sign of love and inclusion, I figured it was a no-brainer. I had seen similar art installations in other towns and figured if they could do it, then so could we. I was surprised when they voted it down. Why are some people so afraid of a rainbow? But in some ways, being told no created a bigger opportunity. Thanks to town councilman Dan Paul Hamus, who suggested I design and sell Avon Cares lawn signs so that residents could put them on their own property, we now see rainbows all over town. And we've raised about $6,500 for equity clubs at my high school. Even better, when people in nearby towns drove past those signs, they wanted their own. So I designed signs for more than 10 other towns. Now there are rainbow signs all over the Farmington Valley. This wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been told no, or if adults like Dan, as well as community organizer Carrie Firestone and state representative Eleni Kavros-DeGraw hadn't supported these efforts. This award isn't about me or any one person. It's about what an entire community can do when it rallies behind a cause. Thank you for this recognition, and to everyone in this room tonight, thank you for inspiring me and standing up for love and equality.
The queer rights movement, the gay rights movement, is a movement that has been going on since the Mattachine Society and the Daughters of Bilitis have been around. So I'm not going to pretend to say that I was a child of this gay rights movement, right? But I came along at a wonderful time to be in this beautiful movement, and I got power in that movement as the outside world was telling me how horrible it was to be gay and queer. I had this beautiful little community that we created of folks who were stepping into understanding who we were, and understanding who we were was wonderful and great, even if the outside world didn't believe in that, right? I can tell you that there are folks who say that they see a whole powerful woman inside of me, and I can tell you I see a woman who's been challenged for her entire life. So 2022 is beautiful and wonderful, but when I was born, there were a whole lot of folks who still believed and understood in 1971 that a black man and a white woman should not make children. We can talk about Gay Inc., we can talk about Target with their Pride collection, we can talk about this interesting rainbow capitalism that happens out there. There's a gift in figuring out who you are without the outside world validating it. And so today, I think a whole lot of that strength and empowerment that people see is just someone who's been forced to and has taken on the challenge of being themselves straight through. And I think about my space here, and for a lot of people, I know that this interview is their introduction to me, and I might seem like a really beautiful, happy, loving human being who sits out here. And a lot of people who know me know that I get into folks' faces and yell and scream and berate and in not very nice ways share truths that are not going to be heard any other way. And I want to stress that part. Share truths that are not going to be heard any other way. It is not nice to yell and scream horrible, awful truths. It is necessary in today's world to yell and scream awful truths. Not all of us have that responsibility. That's a responsibility that I have. And along with that responsibility comes costs. Understand that when you own yourself in all of your identities, you're going to offend people. Our job is to walk through it and be better than that. And watch them cry. Like, dude, we're queer. Nothing feels as wonderful as watching them look at you in awe. The beautiful part is looking at them, watching you in awe, and realize you don't even know the amazingness here. You have no clue what I got inside of me. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this award. Thank you for allowing me the platform that you've allowed me. Thank you for putting up with all of my ridiculousness, because it's all gonna make sense in the end. I swear to God, it's all gonna make sense in the end, and we're gonna get there together, and it's gonna be beautiful. And I want to thank you for understanding that the black crazy lady that the gay crazy lady is going to be the same lady a whole lot of the time. And that means the woman who represents your gay stuff might say some stuff that pisses off your race stuff. The lady who represents your race stuff might say some stuff that feels really, really uncomfortable. But I'm here for all of us. And I want to thank you for seeing me in all of the authentic ways that I show up. And I want to ask you to keep seeing me in the ways that you need to see me in order for us to get to where we need to get to. Thank you so very much.
The biggest challenges for the Chamber of Commerce in 2022, I think, is getting the word out that we exist. We still have a stigma that's put out there, not necessarily here in Connecticut, but across the country. But here in Connecticut, we've been around for 15 years. We're celebrating our 15-year anniversary this year. And it's still a shock when people find out that we have a LGBTQ business community and allied business community chamber. Coming out of the pandemic right now, we hold in-person meetings, which is called networking meetings. So you're getting a chance to meet people from around the state, because we're the only Chamber of Commerce that covers the entire state of Connecticut. All the other chambers, the major chambers in the cities and towns, only cover their area, where we cover the whole state. And the value, I think, is somebody from Hartford can talk to somebody down in New London or Fairfield and expand their business throughout the state that way. So that's one of the key benefits that is offered by the Chamber, is to give them the opportunity to network around the state. You do not have to have a business to belong to the Chamber of Commerce. You can be an individual person but want to deal with and work with LGBT businesses to support them. That's very, very important, especially in our day and time. We try to make every meeting enjoyable, entertaining. Most people say it's me. I don't say it's me. When you get these diverse people in the same room and you watch them communicate with each other, it just makes me feel good about it, because it's almost like we're bridging a gap of somebody who didn't know anything about LGBTQ businesses and people that are LGBT business owners, and they connect. That to me is probably one of the biggest benefits. One, we are affiliated with the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber, which offers a certification to LGBT-owned businesses. And once you get licensed, there's many different things that the Chamber does offer and gives everybody the opportunity to belong. If you are an LGBTQ person, the easiest thing that you want is to belong. And we welcome everybody to belong.
To stand here as a five foot person with all of these people that stand behind us. We have Jackie from our foundation, who supports the youth. We have Kimora, who is a personal friend of mine. We have all of this young lady from Simsbury, who is amazing. And I would love to have you come and speak at one of our meetings to show the support that the young people are giving to the LGBTQ plus community. We do, like I said in the video, we do need to bridge the gap. We are no different, well, a little bit, different than our allies. But business is business. And if you're going to do business in the state of Connecticut, you need to join the chamber. Because like I said in the video, that's why I didn't prepare anything. We cover the entire state. We also have somebody who's being honored today as a People's Choice. Dane, another personal friend, also a member of the chamber, also was a board member to the chamber. So yes, Jim has given us the opportunity to share what we have at the chamber and to give back to the LGBT business community and the allied business community, which does support us. I know I got an earful the other night about the straight community and their business, and they shouldn't support us and blah, blah, blah. I got news for you. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
Spend a night with an icon. Nancy Wilson's Heart. Saturday, June 17th at 8 p.m. Great Cedar Showroom at Foxwoods Resort Casino. A special evening of Heart Classics. Tickets on sale now at foxwoods.com and ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Nancy Wilson's Heart. Great Cedar Showroom at Foxwoods Resort Casino.
There are many gay or lesbian or transgender children who are turned away from their home, turned away from their family. How do you get through this? You're the only gay person in the world, and also within 100 miles. We persevered, and we built a life. We built a life together. LGBTQ kids have no role models for that. If we can help them in any way, our story hopefully will be an inspiration to them.
Scott Haney here in another amazing basement from Better Built Basements. What an incredible job they did here. Just beautiful.
Give them a call today to schedule your free in-home design consultation. There's no obligation. With up to $3,000 off and no interest financing for up to 18 months, there's no better time than right now to have that man cave, kids play area, or family room you've always dreamed of.
Give my friends at Better Built Basements a call today and let them take your basement from unfinished to unbelievable.
Buying a home is exciting, but it's a major investment and can be overwhelming. It's critical to get your financing prepared before you buy, so I can connect you to one of my many trusted lenders to help you with your loan. My local market knowledge will save you a lot of time by matching homes that meet your specific criteria. Once we find the right home, I'll put my negotiating skills to work so we can get it at the right price. Contact me when you're ready and let's go find your dream home.
So a lot of the things that people come in with are anxiety, depression, dysphoria, suicidal ideation. So we work on all that.
When one decides to transition, it is quintessential someone in that position has a safe space. Dane is the person that granted me that safe space. I was able to contact him. I was able to start therapy with him. And he made it possible for me to explore myself and to come to terms with the fact that, yes, I am trans. And I was able to make that decision on my own because of that safe space that he provided. Trust is such a huge element of it. And to be able to provide and to ensure a client that you can be trusted, it's not easy. But Dane does that almost effortlessly. And it's for that reason mainly, but many others, I would say, that I nominated him.
I worked on Dane's book with him. And, we all hear and we all know stories about a hero's journey, but I don't know that we know people who really are those heroes. And to me, Dane is one of them. You can feel his authenticity, and then the way he took what happened to him and what he had gone through, not only produced a book from it, but an entire business that supports the community in such a way that he absolutely deserves this award.
So I knew at a young age that I was different. I felt different. But I never had words to put to that. I was born in the 70s, so this really wasn't talked about much. And if it was derogatory. I know exactly where my clients are coming from. I've lived it. I'm living it. So I'm right there with them. And I couldn't ask for anything better. And my clients thank me for being open with them, because some of them don't know that I'm trans. And when they find out, they're like, I am in the right place, and they feel at home. And I got into this field because I always wanted to help people. I didn't have anybody when I was growing up to go to. So being there for others, I'm a service guy, so I want to be there for others, help others as best as I can. And it's so rewarding.
So I just want to start with, I am overwhelmed with gratitude to be awarded this tonight. I want to thank Connecticut Voice and the people that voted for me. I feel like this is such an honor. It's especially amazing because this award recognizes both my personal challenge and my triumphs, and as a result, my professional accomplishments. Growing up questioning my identity in a world that wasn't then ready for where we are today was traumatic. I could not have thought in my wildest dreams I would be standing here now. I am proud and humbled to be in the company of the other award winners, and I thank them for working to make this a kinder world for the LGBTQ+ community. They share my mission for being the advocates, voices, and resources I did not have growing up. There are many days that I wonder how I made it this far. However, I will say in the past 10 years, I have leaned on and received support from some wonderful people and professionals. My therapist, my colleagues, my life coach, and most importantly, my partner, Shane. I truly appreciate this award and celebrating this evening, and I vow to continue to be worthy of it in the coming years.
Proud Academy will be the first of its kind in Connecticut, and we are eager to join those schools who have already paved the way for us, like Harvey Milk School in Manhattan, and the Alliance in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, along with Magic City Acceptance Academy in Alabama. And Proud Academy will be the first in Connecticut and fourth in the nation, with that clearly in a mission. Yes, there are other safe and affirming schools out there, but not clearly with the mission statement that we all have. So Proud Academy will be a private school for grades 7 through 12, with the goal of opening and operating the school. And we will provide a safe and affirming educational environment for any student who feels marginalized based on sexual orientation, gender identity, race, religion, socioeconomic status, or disability. And of course, allies are welcome. And when we did a poll of students in gay straight alliances, we found some things that they wanted. And number one was they want allies there. It makes it more real. And they also want a rigorous curriculum. So we do hope down the road to be an international baccalaureate program and get accredited because, of course, some students will want to go on to college, and we hope to provide them with that opportunity. But the first thing we need to do is create a safe space for our Connecticut youth. And unfortunately, with the statistics from GLSEN and the Trevor Project, we recognize that schools still are not safe. And we have a student in 8th grade whose mom is on our advisory panel. And when we think of the school, we think of somebody like Vince, who is in 8th grade now, and he's a transgender youth. And it's not safe for Vince. He gets kicked and shoved, and people saying, "I know your real name is that of a girl, not a boy." And every day he goes to school in fear. And this is 2022. And we do have laws on the book that say schools need to create a safe environment. We just need to walk that talk. Proud Academy will absolutely walk that talk.
I am so pleased that Connecticut Voice is honoring the future category to Proud Academy because the youth represent the future. And we hope to open the school in September of 23, and it will be for grades 7 through 12. We get that schools are safe in Connecticut. The school in Avon, good for you that it's a safe school. There are other places that students love to go and embrace it. We are offering an option for students to come to. And I cannot do this alone, obviously. My board, I need my board to stand up over there. Please, my board of directors. Thank you. Amazing people. And I just have to say quickly that as a former educator, it did not feel safe for me as a lesbian teacher. Kids were calling me, "We have a dyke for a teacher." I had Les scratched in my car, and I thought, it's not safe for me to be a teacher. I can't imagine what it's like to be a youth.
Well, at Southern, we're really proud of the fact that we're striving to be both a social justice and anti-racist university. In particular, my hope is that we will be the social justice university of the state of Connecticut. We have focused on 5 pillars in order to highlight and be a member of this community. It requires that you treat people with dignity, with respect, with kindness, with compassion, and with civility. Each of those 5 things combined, I think, helps to create a stronger community. And for us, that's the definition of being a social justice university. Beyond the access, the opportunity, the feeling welcomed, ultimately, students need to feel heard. I've been very fortunate. I come from a very traditional middle-class upbringing, religious upbringing. And so there's a world I understand, but I'm also an openly gay man, an openly gay university leader. The fact that we have a separate center for LGBTQ plus students in the Sage Center, I think is, 1, a point of pride, 2, extremely important because students in that community have a place where they, as members of that community, can not only get the help and support they need, but more importantly, there's a sense of belonging, a sense of camaraderie. I think that's exciting. And if you had told me 40 years ago that this is where I'd be standing or sitting, and that I would be able to meet with my students in ways where they feel safe and welcomed as members of the LGBTQ community. If you had told me that 40 years ago, I would have said, that is never going to happen. It's great that it's happening, isn't it?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So we're proud to be a part of it.
Accepting the award on behalf of SCSU is Kelvin Rutledge, Associate Vice President for Institutional Inclusive Strategies and Change.
At Southern, we aspire to be Connecticut's social justice and anti-racist institution because we believe in our mission of pursuing excellence, fostering leadership, and empowering communities. One of the many ways we live this out on a daily basis is how we value, support, and encourage our LGBTQ students. Through our Sexuality and Gender Equality Center, we offer our community students a centralized place to really connect, build community, find their voice, and build their own vision of success. So with this award, we will continue to create environments where every member of our community experiences dignity, kindness, respect, compassion, and civility. We will work to continue to uplift and celebrate our LGBTQ plus students. And most importantly, we look forward to working with many of you in this room, working together to make tomorrow a better place for everyone. Thank you.
Just a few years ago, a little girl from Pearland made national headlines, the transgender student at the center of a school bathroom battle.
And now Kai Shapley is on TV screen once again, an entirely new role, an actress on a new Netflix series.
And Kai's fight for equal rights as a trans child began right here at Pearland ISD. Now she is spreading her message on TV screens, as you said, as a transgender child in the new Netflix series, The Babysitter's Club.
When we first met Kai Shapley in 2016, she was just about to start kindergarten.
How many I can carry is how many I can take out.
And was at the center of a firestorm in Pearland ISD, where district leaders decided Kai would have to use the boys' bathroom.
Please understand, I'm not fighting about bathrooms. I'm fighting about her life.
It was a battle the Shapleys would not win, and in 2018, the family moved to Austin.
It was just the safest little place that we could move to for Kai to, have equal opportunities as all of her peers.
Kai's story became national news and the subject of an Emmy Award-winning documentary.
Hello, Hello.
And last fall, Hollywood came calling.
There was a spot open on the Babysitters Club for a trans girl and asked if she wanted to play the part of Bailey.
And so, Kai, what did you say to that?
I said yes.
Kai's character, Bailey, experiences something Kai went through when she was younger.
I was really angry, like my dudes. I'm a female.
So for me, as her mom, watching the episode, I cried and cried and cried because it was so real.
Is there ever a time when someone treated you differently because you're transgender?
Yes, at my old school back in Houston.
How were they treating you differently?
Because I was never allowed to go to the girls' bathroom. They would just make me go to a random bathroom that was supposed to be for all the students.
Check it out. What does that say?
I'm a female.
It says you're a female. What do you think about that?
By filing a petition in court, Kimberly was able to get Kai a new birth certificate, officially changing both her gender and her name, marking a new day for their family to celebrate.
Happy name day!
Kai is just a kid here. Even people knowing that she's transgender doesn't make a difference. I'd rather her just to enjoy the privilege of living in a land where she's just a person with basic human rights.
Kai is now 11 years old and continues to be a fierce activist for trans equality and especially for all LGBTQ children. Tonight, at this inaugural Connecticut VOICE Honors Gala, we recognize the Shapley family for all they have done to create a safer world for everyone in the LGBT community by awarding them the Profiles in Courage Award.
Hi, y'all. I just want to say that all of y'all who have gotten awards, and all of y'all in general, y'all all look freaking stunning, bedazzling. And I want to thank you for this award. It means a lot to me. My family is still really new here to Connecticut, and I cannot think of a better way to start our journey with y'all. And I know y'all just gave me this award, but I still have 3 things to ask of you. 1, that you'll call your state representatives and tell them that you are proud Connecticut passed the Safe Harbor law, which made my mom feel confident enough to bring me here. 2, that you use whatever gift or talent that you have to help trans kids. Our parents are exhausted and they need you to step in even bigger ways. And 3, the most important of them all, if you know Dolly Parton, tell her to call me. I've been waiting since I was 5. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our honorees this evening. Let's welcome back Benjamin Eakley and friends, and then we are going to dance all night with DJ Q Boogie. Let's go.
Thanks, everybody.